عبارة من التلمود. كانت تقول: إذا جاء شخص ليقتلك فانهض واقتله. ومنذ 2002 اعتمدت هذه السياسة، لذلك نهض الموساد.
When they were asked to assassinate a personality, nobody agreed.
There are so many volunteers. They even don't wait for Mossad to reach them. They reach Mossad.
Oh, the interview freezing again. Oh, we are not sure why. Maybe it's Mossad. Who knows?
Oh, it's very strong. I don't know what is happening. Maybe the Iranian spies, they are sitting on my...
And some of them were not professionals. Those elements together brought the Israeli intelligence failure.
To continue, and I knew that it wasn't an easy balancing act, but because I had been handpicked by the OSGC and people close to the OSGC.
دخلت إيران بجواز فرنسي وغطاء صحفي. كنت يهودية لكنني تشيعت. تعلمت لغتهم، اخترقت عشرات المسؤولين بزواج المتعة، اعتنقت طقوسهم، وكتبت ما أرادوا أن يسمعوه. في طهران كنت قريبة من زوجات القادة من ديوان المرشد. كل حوار، كل تفصيل كان يسجل وينقل إلى تل أبيب. لم أكن بحاجة إلى سلاح، كنت أمتلك ثقتهم، وهذا وحده كان كافياً. في يونيو عام 2025 تحركت الطائرات الإسرائيلية نحو أهداف أعرفها جيداً. حين انكشفت، أعدموا من ساعدني، علقوا صوري في الشوارع. أما أنا فاختفيت. أنا كاثرين بيريز شكدام، جاسوسة الموساد في إيران طواعية. لا يهم أين أنا الآن، وإنما السؤال الأهم: كيف وصلت إلى قلب النظام؟ وكم من أحد تركته خلفي؟ كاثرين بيريز ليست القصة، هي خيط من خيوطها، شبكة تجسس أوسع نسجت على مدار عقود، يختارها الموساد بدقة، يزرعها داخل أرض العدو، يراقب بصبر ويضرب بقوة عند الحاجة. لكن حين نتحدث عن إيران تتضاعف الصعوبة. نظام مغلق، مجتمع مراقب، وعقيدة أمنية لا ترحم. ومع ذلك اخترق واخترق واخترق. لكن كيف؟ من يجند؟ وكيف يدفع المقابل؟ ولماذا لا يختار يهود إيران؟ من هم أولئك الذين يعملون الآن في قلب طهران؟ وماذا ينتظر النظام؟ ومقابل هذا النجاح الهائل في إيران، لماذا كان هناك فشل استخباراتي ذريع في هجوم 7 أكتوبر؟ قبل معرفة قواعد التجنيد، من الضروري أن نوضح مسألتين أساسيتين. أولاً، الفرق بين الجاسوس والعميل. الجاسوس يزرع داخل دولة أو مؤسسة معادية لجمع معلومات سرية، ويجند من البداية لغرض الاختراق. أما العميل فهو أي شخص يتعاون مع جهاز استخبارات، قد يكون موظفاً بسيطاً، مراسلاً، أو حتى عامل توصيل. ليس بالضرورة أن يتجسس، لكنه يقدم خدمة. ومع ذلك في الاستخدام العام تطلق كلمة جاسوس على العميل أيضاً، لأن كل جاسوس هو عميل بالضرورة. ثانياً، الفرق بين أجهزة الاستخبارات الإسرائيلية. هناك 3 أجهزة بارزة: الموساد استخبارات خارجية، الشباك أمن داخلي، أمان استخبارات عسكرية. الموساد والشباك يتبعان لمكتب رئيس الوزراء، أما أمان فتتبع للجيش الإسرائيلي.
Operation possible. We will continue to keep a close eye on all the projects in Iran that we know in the most in-depth ways. We will be there, and we have been there until now.
I think that the Israeli strategy was adopted from the British. As you know, the Brits have the most experienced history on using human intelligence. And IDF was born, as you know, after the British mandate, and much of our doctrine came from the British side. So I don't think that the Israelis invited or established new ideology using human sources, but adapted the professionalism of the British that have done it before.
رئيس الموساد السابق الذي بدأ كل هذه العمليات وهذا التقطيق اللي هو من أردوغان، كان يأخذ عبارة من التلمود، كانت تقول إذا جاء شخص ليقتلك فانهض واقتله. ومنذ 2002 اعتمدت هذه السياسة، لذلك نهض الموساد وبدأ العمل على مواجهة كل الذين يهددون دولة إسرائيل، وبالذات كان التركيز على إيران. انت لاحظي رونين بار تم إقالته وكان هو رئيس الشباك، وأيضا تم استقال رئيس الاستخبارات ورئيس هيئة الأركان هرتسياليفي الذي وضع كل الخطة التي تم تنفيذها في إيران. هذه خطة هرتسياليفي وليست خطة يلزمير، لكن برني ظل موجود لأن كما يبدو استطاع الموساد الدخول إلى الداخل الإيراني.
The Mossad has a website, and the fact that it does have a website with a place where you can offer your information says something about the difficulties in other countries and the fact that people want to save their countries from the regimes.
And I would say that there are two main elements when you try to convince people to help you to achieve your goals. One, you need to ask yourself if they have an interest to betray their system, if they understand that they are doing it, because in many cases they don't understand it. Secondly, if they have enough motivation to help you, or at least to help somebody that they think that they work for. If you have those two, or at least in some level those two, you can work with different people.
So they have to make a story, a cover story, why they are reaching. For example, as I said, if they know that he needs some medical assistant or something about his family, so it's easier. They can come and offer him with that story to build a story around something medical and how they help people. They can easily go to him. But if he has no kind of problems and he doesn't go to them, it's harder.
Look, when you recruit an agent that work in an enemy ground, you can't assure him 100% protection. You can, and again, it's not secret. It's the basic rules. People that work for you as spies lose their life. The most the case that is most famous in Israel is Eli Cohen. You can give him all kind of even weapons from time to time. But there is a question why they are doing it. And as I said, some of them are doing it because they are angry about the regime. The people that will work only because they get money usually will not be very good spies. And usually every intelligence organization will try not to deal with them. The combination of basic motivation with support of money or something else might give you the better chance.
From what I see, the reason is that Iranians want to save their country from the Islamic regime. For them, espionage is not betrayal. It is doing what's right for the country. It is saving it from a regime that's been embezzling the country, that's been humiliating the nation.
Bitcoins and all this kind of way to pay people, where it's relatively easy to transfer money in a way that those that get it even will not know where exactly they got it, not to speak about the authorities. So in this case, it's very, very easy. In the old days, there were other way to convince somebody to work for you, including sex and all other things.
يعني أحد المواطنين الإيرانيين الذين تم اعتقاله سألوه يعني ليش أنت بتتجسس؟ قال لهم أنا كان مطلوب مني بس أطلع ظهر السطوح أصور وسائل الدفاع الجوي، ومقابلها أخذ مصاري مشان أطعم نعم مشان أطعم عيالي، لأنه بقى عنده بطالة مش لاك يأكل، إضافة إلى استغلال الأجانب الهنود والباكستانيين وغيرهم من الأجانب في الداخل الإيراني.
Regarding Iranian Jews, the Jewish community in Iran is very, very, very loyal to the Islamic Republic. They're very careful not to do anything. I'm not even talking about espionage. During the war, in their Telegram channels, they say, don't even like or comment on anything that has to do with the war. They're very careful not to be too conspicuous and not to do things that can get them in trouble, because if one gets in trouble, it's the whole community. And they're very loyal. I call it propaganda hostages. They do have freedom of occupation, they do have freedom of religion, they do have a representative in parliament, but in return, whenever the Islamic Republic can't, for example, fill a mosque with a conference in support of Gaza or in support of Hamas, they do manage to fill a synagogue. When they couldn't get Iranians out to demonstrate against Israel, they could get the Jewish community out to demonstrate against Israel.
There is no way that the Israeli Mossad or other forces will try even to get in contact with anybody from the Jewish community. And there are two reasons for it. First of all, because the Israeli system understands that it will risk these people. And it's the last thing that we would like to do. And the second point is that I believe that the Israeli system assumes that the Jewish community in Iran is under very close supervision of the security establishment in Iran. So when you think about risks, the Jewish community in Iran are in the lowest place on the list of those that you would like to try even to contact or to have any contact with them.
أكد الوزير الإيراني إسماعيل خطيب أن الاختراقات الأمنية الإسرائيلية كانت وما زالت جزءاً من الواقع داخل إيران، مبرزاً أن بلاده كذلك تنفذ اختراقات استخباراتية داخل إسرائيل ودول أخرى، ومشدداً على أن هذه الأنشطة ليست جديدة وستبقى مستمرة في إطار ما وصفه بالصراع الأمني المفتوح.
It's really nothing compared to Israel's penetration to the Islamic Republic. I don't want to underestimate the enemy, but from what we see of their achievements and ours, it looks like the Israeli penetration into the Islamic Republic military or security system is a bit higher. There was one mission that the spies got that made the whole country laugh, which was go to Dizengoff Center Mall and take pictures of all the exits. And this mall has such complicated architecture that no one in Israel knows where all the exits are.
Yes, the Iranian regime is really in a panic. They already arrested about 1,600 people that are suspicious as being spies for Israel or for others. They already hanged 6 of these suspicious civilians, and they are going to hang 4 more in the next few days. But maybe, I'm sure that most of them, maybe all of them, are not really spies of Israel, because Israel also teaches them how to protect themselves, how to not to be unveiled and discovered So I don't think that these are the spies that they were captured. I think the real spies, they know how to cover and have the right story to tell, and being kind of in a gray zone, so no one knows that they are the spies for Israel.
Of espionage in the law of jasusi, because this is what, I don't remember if it was the head of judiciary or the spokesperson for the judiciary that said, if we want to judge all the people we arrested, we need to change the definition of espionage, otherwise we will be limited or we will have obstacles judging everybody. So they want to put everyone on trial. They just changed retroactively the definition of espionage.
يبدو الإسرائيلي لديه عملية اختراق واسعة في داخل المنطقة، إن كان على المستوى الإيراني أو إن كان على المستوى اللبناني أو على نستطيع القول بأن الجهاز الأمني الإسرائيلي جهاز فاعل يعمل بجد 24 ساعة يعمل، لديه قدرات، لديه إمكانيات، يأخذ مساعدات ولكنه ينجز، وقد أنجز كثيرا، وقصة البيجر واضحة في إنجاز يعني يسجل للإسرائيلي بهذا الخصوص، والإنجازات في إيران تسجل للإسرائيلي والأجهزة الأمنية في داخل إسرائيل.
لا شك أن العدوان الذي حصل هو عدوان كبير، وكما قلت في سياق الكلمة هو غير مسبوق وسيواجه بحساب عسير.
How is it that we failed to get on time the right intelligence for these human sources in Gaza? First of all, I would say that perhaps one of the biggest failures of the Israeli intelligence dealing with intelligence about Hamas is the fact that the Israeli system thought that the Hezbollah in Iran are very sophisticated and the expectations from them were very high.
نعلن بدء عملية طوفان الأقصى.
The second reason is that I believe that the priority list of the Israeli security establishment, starting with the Prime Minister, and all along the organizations, from the highest level to the lowest level, the first on the priority list was Iran, and the second was Hezbollah. And based on this priority list, didn't had, I would say, enough to deal with Hamas. If you think that the other side is not capable, you don't take it in serious enough, and you pay the price. And we paid a very, very painful price for it.
מה שאני עושה עכשיו, אני חופר את הקבר שמיד מבחינתי לי, כי כל יום שעובר הגוף שלי הולך, נחלש, נהיה רזה יותר וחלש יותר.
هسه إذا دخلت غزة المفروض الاستخبارات الإسرائيلية تعرف الدخول إلى داخل قطاع غزة
تماما.
ومع ذلك حدث 7 تشرين أكتوبر، لأنه واضح جدا بأن كان في غرور من القوة لدى الإسرائيلي، وواضح بأن الإسرائيلي كان لديه تقديرات خاطئة فيما يتعلق بقطاع غزة.
Did the Mossad change the systems? Those that will emphasize only on one part of the picture will fail. Because again, if your enemy is clever enough, and when we speak about the Iranians, they are clever. It's not a bunch of people that don't understand that. They are very good on many, many fields. So when you have this kind of enemy, you need to be one step in front of him. And I can tell you that immediately after the disaster that we had on the 7th of October 23, all these systems begin to lead processes that not only allow them but facilitate them to change much of what was needed to change based on the failure that we had. And the success that we saw in dealing with the Hezbollah and in Iran, I think that part of it is based on the lesson learned from the failure in the Gaza Strip with all the differences.
I do know that the Islamic regime is right now at one of its weakest points. The fact that it survived is a sort of victory, and it survived weaker and more humiliated, which means that it is now angrier and will be much more oppressive towards the people. But this oppression and the feeling of betrayal, which was the word I heard more than any other word in the day after the ceasefire, it made the Iranian people realize that no one is going to do the job for them, and that they have to do it on their own.
Definitely, there will be a great change. The question is how. Maybe it will be a violent one, like a civil war, like in Syria. I hope not. And maybe it can be a calm change. Maybe another leader and a moderate one can come up and change the regime from inside and be more moderate towards the West, towards Israel. And maybe not have peace, but also not having war, not investing in Hezbollah or Hamas or others.